Hey, good afternoon, comrades. Today is the 13th of May, 2025, better known as 2023. And behind the screen here is Langa Gouws. My name has not changed, and I still remain a philanthropist, an author, a businessman, and a speaker. So today's agenda is quite simple, actually. It's going to be a 3-point agenda. And we will be covering Vision 2028 as item number 1. What is Vision 2028 and why do I think it's so important that I need to be speaking about it on this platform? And point number 2 on the agenda is sustainable models for scaling businesses, focusing mostly on the reseller development programs as well as the franchising models. And then point number 3, we'll touch a bit about the philosophy behind leaders who build beyond wealth creation and how can we adopt that culture within the South African and African market and cultivate the next generation of leaders to have a mindset that says, hey, I know I want to secure the bag, but whatever I build has to go above and beyond just securing the bag. So please join me as we engage and find answers together. Feel free to comment any opinion, any thoughts that this may have made you feel, whether I like it or whether you think I like it or not. Please, you're more than welcome. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. Join us. Yeah, excuse me, recovering from the flu. I'm a human being as well. So, yeah, colleagues, Vision 2028. I'm on a mandate here today to speak about this vision. And this vision is, I believe, something God has placed within me. And Vision 2028, to just sum it up simply, is by God's grace to create or to partner in the creation of 6,000 sustainable employment opportunities by the year 2028. And you may ask, how did we get to this number and why such dreams and goals? Well, I'm not here to ask the country or my fellow colleagues in the entrepreneurship or business world to join me on a road that I haven't put a foot on. This is something that is close to my heart, and I've already fell in love with the concept of job creation and sustainable job creation. So we don't just create jobs to count heads in the office, but we create jobs that will add value to society and add value to those who are working within our workspaces or our companies. So Vision 2028, to better give an understanding to the viewers and listeners, I will explain what Vision 2028 is, why Vision 2028 is important to me and to my stakeholders, when this vision started and when does it seek to go, where is it focusing, and who is impacted by Vision 2028. So Vision 2028, as I put, is the philosophy that is a burning desire within my spirit to create 6,000 sustainable employment opportunities by the year 2028. Why? Okay, there's many whys, but I'll just give you a few. South Africa and Africa is battling a high unemployment crisis or pandemic or epidemic, whatever we call it, but there is a problem. And we need people who are going to take the highly capacitated and the highly intelligent and the highly skilled and the highly motivated individuals who are loitering within the job market and place them into functional roles within the economy and within various value chains. This in turn will have the domino effect of seeing the governments collect more tax, which will in turn see service delivery increase. This will also in turn see a stability within the nation, which in turn will also cause investor confidence to strengthen, which in turn will cause the currency of the nation to stable, which in turn will allow us to do better business with the world, to do more affordable business with the world, to be on better standing points and standing grounds when negotiating with the corporates of the world. And so that is some of why it is important. So Vision 2028, at the heart of it, is creating sustainable employment opportunities to move the economy forward, to move individuals out of poverty, to move individuals out of crime, to move the ills of society. A lot of the ills of society is caused by the high poverty levels that we face within the country. So when did Vision 2028 start? Vision 2028 has been cooking for a while. I would say right now we are just over a year, and within this period of a year, by God's grace, we've managed to create over about 20 employment opportunities. And it's a journey that we are still on. We are looking to create more and more opportunities, and I think 20 is on the low side. It should be maybe over 30 right now. Not really counting on the individual level. I'm counting per hundreds because we're chasing the 6,000 number. So I think if I count every 100, then I think it's moving. But each and every individual is important. Each and every individual placed into employment is important. So I'm not taking anything away from that. And where is this Vision 2028 targeting? Well, myself, I'm an African, and by design and hope, I would have hoped to pilot Vision 2028 throughout Africa, and I do not think it is not doable. However, due to current geo-positioning, I am in the Republic of South Africa, and the Republic of South Africa could do with 6,000 sustainable employment opportunities being developed. And so the region is South Africa for now. And who is impacted? This initiative impacts everyone in the economy, whether you are currently positioned in the lower parts of the LSMs or in the upper parts of the LSMs. This is impacting you because higher levels of the LSMs are business owners, so they'll be receiving an influx of trained, capacitated employees who are more productive, who produce more, and allow them to contribute more value as companies in the marketplace. And then the lower LSMs, we can see more individuals getting sustainable employment opportunities. So that is on the fronts immediately that I can think about who is benefiting. Then we also have government who will benefit by collecting more tax revenue, because there is now more taxpayers, there is now also more value contributed within the GDP that the government can also participate in taxing there. So Vision 2028 is definitely something that I think is worth the while and worth the sweat, because it's not easy sometimes when you just do something because it's a burning desire inside and there's no payroll for that. You're not in anyone's payroll for thinking of that vision at that moment in time. So yes, partners do come as we go on, but at the core of it is the passion to create sustainable employment opportunities for my brothers and sisters of South Africa and Africa. And hopefully the model can be replicated by other innovative thinkers and do it in their better way, do it better, do it bigger, and just have a ripple domino effect of sustainable employment opportunity economic growth for Africa. So yeah, that is a bit about Vision 2028, sorry. I think we will move over to point number 2 on the agenda, which is various business models that allow us to scale. And we'll be focusing on 2 models, which is the reseller development model, as well as the reseller development model, as well as the franchising model. I apologize for that, colleagues. So, yeah, I really apologize for that. I just want to take us through some stats. So I'm just going to take a few JSE companies, just a handful of them, and just show you how these models I'm speaking about come into effect. So when we look at the JSE, I'm just going to take 6 companies here. Famous brands: Spur, Mr. Price Group, BTI Business Technology, and Telkom SA. Did I say 6? Oh, my numbers. Yeah, so when you look at famous brands, they are more in the franchising space. They franchise the likes of Steers, Wimpy, Debonair's Pizza. Then we look at Spur Corporation. They're also in the franchising space, franchising Spur steak ranches and panarotis, like a pizza. And then we look at Mr. Price Group, and there's the clothing and the homeware franchises. And then we look at BTI, Business Technology. They are a reseller for Microsoft, Cisco, and Lenovo. So now we see the reseller model come into place next to the franchising model. And then we also have Telkom SA, which also deploys the reseller model when it comes to the network equipment such as Huawei and Cisco. So basically what I'm trying to make a point of is to say, as entrepreneurs, especially in the market where we currently are, we should look at building the product, which is the business, and then allowing other interested parties to buy their own part of this business that they can run and manage, or allowing other partners who feel like they have access to market to come and take your business and put it in a particular market, and they get compensated for that. So that is now how we scale, gents. When we talk about scaling, going to America, going to Europe, going to Asia, those are the methods we can use that we can easily, not easily, there's nothing easy, it's just more structured way of penetrating a market. So for example, we would take a trip and make some buddies in Asia and get them to buy a fraction of whatever business that we have that is already a moving product, highly demanded, with a good brand and track record. Those are things they need to see. You know, no one's just going to buy a franchise for the sake of buying a franchise. You know, I need to know is it going to return my investment? Does the brand speak for itself? And do I also get support from that side to make money? So once you can answer those kind of questions for people, you are now speaking the language of scale, rather than you trying to be everywhere. Because at the end of the day, we only have 24 hours in a day. And at the end of the day will end. So, you know, there's only so much you can do. And also, when you look at the reseller and the franchising models, they are very much empowerment driven. Sure, there is a capitalist approach of I'm selling you and I want to make a profit. Yes, but I am empowering you. Because for you, how long will it take to go and build a brand as powerful as, for example, McDonald's? Do you understand? How much money will you put in that? How much resources and effort? Obviously, there's a few exceptions here and there that are, you know, just become blessed or lucky. Yeah. And they just gain market share. But most of the things we see as success is structured. It's strategy. It does not happen by mistake. Comprende? And if we are trying to solve the over 32% unemployment rate that we have in the country, with over 60% of the youth being unemployed, these are the models us as business owners need to be deploying in the market. We need to be franchising our businesses. If you can't franchise it yet, build it to a level where it is attractive enough to be a franchise.
Yeah.
We need to be encouraging younger or other entrepreneurs to join our ecosystem or to join our businesses through reseller programs, reseller development programs, where you invite businesses, you teach them about your business so that they don't mess up when they represent you in the market. You train them and then you give them the product and the support and you let them go and grow.
Yeah.
Then we are creating jobs, because those businesses, they will go and create their own jobs that you are not even directly making, but it is going to happen. So that is why I'm speaking about this model right after speaking about Vision 2028, because I feel like the best way as business owners to make Vision 2028 a success, whether it's the two who want to say, Langa, we're going to create the 6,000 jobs, those two business owners, we need to be speaking reseller development, we need to be speaking franchising model development. Are we moving?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're going to close him up because I don't want to be too long in this discussion. Point number 3, leaders who build beyond wealth creation. And I think this point is very important because in Africa, there's a president now called Ibrahim Traore. He deployed a unique, well not a unique, a nice strategic method of empowerment. So he allows, for example, give a case of, he noticed the problem, their country is producing tons and tons and tons of tomatoes and then shipping them off just like that. And then buying processed tomato goods and everything. So he saw that's a very big opportunity to create scale in my country, to create value chains in my country. So then he built factories. So structuring this organization to build the factories and everything can be a challenge. So he allowed the government obviously put something in, but he allowed ordinary citizens of the country to buy equity in those companies that own the factories. So those companies are 100% owned by the public, by the people. Investments from as little as like 300 Rand, 400 Rand could get you shares in those factories. Can you imagine what that country is going to look like if they do deploy that kind of method over the next 10 years? Then the dividends come to the people of the country. And they are very patriotic about investing in their country. So whatever money they get, they put back into their country, they keep under a mattress of some sort.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thinking. You know, we need to think beyond, okay, sharp, I want to have a Bentley, I want to have a private jet, I want to have an island. Nice things, sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can have an island, a Bentley, you can have all that stuff without building things that are messing up the economy.
Yeah. True.
I mean, you can own 51% of a billion and let the Republic own 49%. I'll give you an example, if you are really a greedy capitalist.
Yeah.
Which I don't think there is anyone who's greedy. People just want security, you know? And if you can get the security that the leaders around you are building for the long term, you also start to behave in a particular way, thinking for the long term. So yeah, I just implore all of us watching this or listening to this to go above and beyond, you know, and to build wealth, you know, but not build wealth alone that is just for the purpose of wealth, but something that will empower beyond more than you. You know, Jeff Bezos, most of his wealth he built for other people. He's worth a fraction of the wealth he built for other people. So that's the kind of thinking we need to have as African leaders. And by God's grace, I trust that it will be imparted into all of us under the sound of my voice. So, is there any questions from the floor, colleagues?
For now, I don't think so.
No, I didn't. Without any further ado, thank you very much for your time, and till we meet again.